David Kessler is with Sandstone Partners, and he's going to be presenting a really neat, unique property, the McKinstry Mansion in Hudson, New York, in an opportunity zone, a little boutique hotel that's going to have event space. And well, why don't I let him tell you about it?
Hi, everyone. I'm David Kessler. I'm the founder and CEO of Sandstone Partners, and I'm excited to share our latest project with you today, which is an adaptive reuse of a historic property in the heart of Hudson, New York. And we're redeveloping it into an independent boutique hotel. I'd like to start by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I studied real estate at University of Wisconsin, and I moved to New York in 2001. Been in real estate my entire career. I started out at the real estate advisory services practice at Ernst & Young, and then I was an in-house appraiser over at Credit Suisse. And then I transitioned to the principal side of the business in 2006, where I've been ever since. I was second in command at 3 different development shops in New York City. And I oversaw all aspects of the development business, which included multiple historic renovation projects, as well as multiple hospitality projects. I'd like to share with you a few of my recent successes. So number 1, 2, and 3 on this list are projects that I developed in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And the reason I bring this up is the first one's a retail repositioning play at North 3rd and Bedford. And and the second one was a ground up development at Driggs in North 3rd, and the 70,000 square feet. And the third is a condo building that we built 30,000 square feet. These three properties were purchased back in 2012. And when I first came to that neighborhood at that time, the center of the neighborhood was really North 7th and Bedford, but I saw it shifting to our block. And now if you go there, you would tell me, look, David, the center of this neighborhood is your block. And it was based on the growth and where that neighborhood was headed. And the first one on this list, we put Apple in the corner, and that was the first Apple store in all of Brooklyn. And then the second one, we built a 70,000 square foot hotel there. I founded Sandstone back in 2018, and I came up to Hudson in the summer of 19, and I quickly realized that the best way to make this project a reality and a success was for me to move here. So that's exactly what I did. And the barriers to entry in Hudson are significant. And I've been working on this project for the last 3 years. We have all the municipal approvals in place, the plan substantially complete. The opportunity is to invest in an opportunity zone fund that's redeveloping a historic vacant federal mansion that's in the heart of Hudson, New York. We're redeveloping into a 55-room independent boutique hotel. We're gut renovating the existing 15,000 square foot building. It was built in 1835, and we're building a new modern addition that's 20,000 square feet. The total project cost is roughly $32 million, and this includes a non-recourse long-term financing of $27 million and approximately $5.2 million of new equity. And we have half of that committed, and we're looking to raise the other half here today. The partnership, the way we're structuring the partnership is with an 8% preferred return, and then 70% of the cash flow above and beyond that. And we're charging market rate fees. This means that the investors' net cash return averages 20% per year throughout the whole period, which includes the first 2 years, which is our construction period. Assuming that we sell this asset in 10 years' time, we're projecting a net IRR to our investors of 24%, which is incredibly rare given a 10-year hold period. And we're projecting a 5.4 times equity multiple. So if you invest $1 million, you're going to get back 5.4 roughly over the 10-year horizon. This is in a premier location, and there's significant tax benefits. I'd like to talk a little bit more about the investment highlights. So this is a thriving yet underserved market. When I first came to Hudson in 2019. I tried to book a hotel room a month out and I couldn't book one single room. We have the third busiest Amtrak station in New York State. We had in 2019 alone, we had over 200,000 tourists, and yet we only had 200 hotel rooms. We are in a premier location. Hudson's considered the downtown of upstate, and there's countless bars and restaurants and art galleries, antique stores, performance venues, music venues, wedding venues, and the like. Incredibly charming town, great architecture, and it's really a great place. We have several tax benefits as well, including the Opportunity Zone benefits, of course. We're in the OZ. We have this OZ fund set up, and then we also went to the City of Hudson Industrial Development Agency, and we got a tax abatement. So in exchange for our job creation and commitment to hire locally, we structured a pilot, which stands for Payment in Lieu of Taxes, with the Industrial Development Agency, which allows us to abate sales taxes on construction materials, mortgage recording taxes, and we know what our real estate taxes will be for the next 11 years. This alone has added over 1.6 million in value to the site. We're getting we've secured attractive long-term debt financing in the form of a USDA BNI loan and a CPACE loan, which combined totals 27 million and at a blended interest rate of 8%. And we've eliminated all of our refinance risk for the next 27 years. We're projecting stabilizing at the beginning of year 4 at an average daily rate of 510, an occupancy of 68%. The projected stabilized net operating income equates to about 3.6 million. So if you take that and you divide that by our total project costs, we're projecting a stabilized yield on cost of over 11%, which is phenomenal. Boutique hotels today are trading, in the 7 to 8% range. We're projecting selling it at an 8.5% exit cap rate in 10 years' time, which we believe to be conservative. And that results in a net IRR to our equity investors of over 24%. And again, a net equity multiple of a 5.4 times multiple. We are, I have over 20 years of experience in this business and over $1 billion of development experience. We have a great team. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about what makes Hudson so unique. And, one of the interesting things is we made the list of the top 25 small towns in America with the most millionaires, yet we're also in the Opportunity Zone. It's an incredibly diverse place. And, there's countless articles that talk about the Hamptonification of the Hudson Valley and how it's becoming really a high-end entertainment town. Now, we're nestled between the Berkshires and the Catskills, and we're only 2 hours from New York City by car or train, direct from Penn Station. We're 2.5 hours from Boston, 2 hours from Hartford, and there's countless outdoor activities in the immediate area. The accessibility is just phenomenal. Catering to 3 distinct customer segments here: wedding, leisure, and offsite retreats. So let's talk about the wedding business for a second. There are over 16 wedding venues within a 12-mile area. That means that over 35,000 people came here just to attend a wedding in 2019. And another interesting thing to note is during the pandemic, we had more net in-migration per capita of anywhere in the country. And then we're also catering to the leisure market and the corporate offsite retreat market. Today, none of the other hotels or motels or inns in town really can effectively cater to all 3 segments because either they don't have the number of rooms, the amenities, or the sales and marketing team to go after that business, but we'll be able to. Now, I'd like to just talk a little bit about the history of the property. It's a beautiful property in the heart of town, literally 1 block from the main town square, in the heart of the growth of the town. It was this property, it's 15,000 square feet. It was built in 1835 for a guy by the name of Robert McKinstry. He was the mayor of the town. He owned an apothecary in town. And then he died in the late 1800s and sold to the Home for the Aged. And it was an old age home from 1900 until 2014. And it's been vacant ever since. And we're bringing it back to its original form. This is the way the building looked back in 1835. This is the way the building looks today. And this is the way the building will look upon completion. We're going to execute a locally rooted concept that will lean into the art scene and food scene and accessibility to locally grown foods and wineries in the area. And it'll be very experiential. We're going to hire a third-party hotel management firm that focuses on managing luxury independent boutique hotels. So this is our entrance, and then to the right you can see the restaurant space with 20-foot ceilings that will open up onto an outdoor dining terrace. Our food and beverage programming, we're going to have a restaurant with 48 seats, a private dining room with 12 seats, plus a bar with a speakeasy entrance under the porch of the historic mansion. That'll feature 32 seats, exposed brick, exposed beams, and 2 wood-burning fireplaces. And we're going to call it the Apothecary, since a nod to Robert McKinstry's, he owned an apothecary in town. On the parlor level of the historic mansion, we'll have a series of event rooms. We can host events, seated events up to 70, cocktail style events up to 130. And when this room is not being used for private events, it'll be the living room of the property with soft seating. Over 35% of the half-an-acre corner lot will be landscaped open space, even after we add our 20,000 square foot addition. So here you can see, this is the addition that we're building. This is that restaurant space that will open up into an outdoor dining terrace. Here's our main entrance to the hotel. We're building around this old growth tree here. And then here we have a outdoor spa facility with the sauna, jacuzzi, and fire pit. The thought there is we're going to cater to ski packages, or sell ski packages to people who live in New York City that don't own a car. They can hop on Amtrak. 2 hours later, they're in Hudson, which is a much more interesting town than some of the mountain towns nearby. And we'll shuttle you to and from the ski mountain. There's 2 mountains nearby. One's 25 minutes to our east, the other's 35 minutes to our west. And then in front of that outdoor spa facility with the sauna, jacuzzi, and fire pit, we'll have a yard where we could fit a tent for a 100-person wedding ceremony. And then in front of the historic mansion here, we have a series of formal gardens with an Instagram room as you approach. Again, if you go under the porch of the historic mansion, that's the entrance to the speakeasy. And here's another rendering for you. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your time. If you'd like to find out more information, please reach out to me at dk@sandstonerE.com or 917-679-6000. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you, David. And David, we met, I don't know, quite a while back, about a year and a half ago. Really excited that you could join us for OZ Pitch Day today. This is your first time presenting at OZ Pitch Day, and it really is an incredible project you have there in Hudson. We got time for just one question. We got you started a little bit late. We're running a few minutes behind, but wanted to make sure you got at least one question in. Do you plan to operate the hotel, or will it be flagged?
I plan to engage a third-party hotel management firm that specializes. I'm a strong believer of do what you're good at, let other people do what they're good at. I'm a developer, and so we're going to hire a third-party hotel management firm to operate it. It will be independent and boutique. This isn't a market where having a Marriott flag or a Hilton flag really benefits you. People who come to Hudson want the independent and boutique experience. And that's what we will be creating here.
Fantastic. Well, David, we've run out of time, but thank you for joining us today. I'm going to make sure that your contact information gets in the chat. If anybody has any questions that we weren't able to get to, please do reach out to David directly and request more information from him. David, thank you so much.
Thank you.